I never thought coming back from the dead would break my heart more than dying did. My name is Sarah Bennett. I'm 30 years old. 3 days ago, everyone believed I was gone forever. But here I am, standing on the edge of everything I thought I knew. The pain in my chest right now isn't from the crash. It's from what I saw when I finally made it home. My husband and our little girl sat on the curb like strangers with nowhere left to go. 2 worn suitcases beside them. Rain starting to fall on their shoulders. My daughter's small hand clutched his sleeve. I froze 20 feet away, hidden by the old oak tree. My legs wouldn't move. Tears mixed with the blood still crusted on my forehead. Before I tell you how we got here, let me take you back. Life hadn't been easy for a long time. My husband lost his construction job 8 months ago when the company went under. Bills piled up like snow in winter. We argued more than we laughed. I worked double shifts at the diner downtown, smiling through the ache in my feet. Our daughter, only 5, started having nightmares about us yelling. I felt like I was failing them every single day. That morning, I left for the countryside to meet an old friend who might have a lead on a better job. The drive was supposed to clear my head. Tall hills rolled beside the narrow road. Wildflowers dotted the fields. I remember gripping the wheel and whispering a prayer for one good break. Then the sky turned dark fast. Rain hammered the windshield. My tires lost grip on a sharp curve. The car spun like a toy. I screamed as it slid toward the steep embankment. I fought the wheel with everything I had. Metal screamed against guardrail. The car flipped once, twice. Glass exploded around me. Cold river water rushed in through the broken window. I unbuckled with shaking fingers, pushed against the door with my shoulder until it gave way. I swam up through the dark water, lungs burning. When I broke the surface, I gasped for air like a newborn. The car sank behind me, bubbles rising. Local farmers found me on the muddy bank hours later. They carried me to a small wooden house nestled in the hills. No phone signal, no hospitals nearby. An old woman cleaned my cuts with gentle hands. She fed me warm soup and let me sleep on her couch. For 2 days, I drifted in and out of fever dreams. I kept seeing my daughter's face. I kept hearing my husband's voice telling me we would be okay. The guilt crushed me. They must think I'm dead. On the 3rd day, I borrowed enough money for a bus ticket. Every bruise screamed as I walked to the station. The ride back felt endless. I practiced what I would say when I walked through our front door, how I would hold them both until the fear melted away. I pictured my husband crying with relief. I pictured my little girl running into my arms, but none of that happened. Instead, I found them on the sidewalk outside our house. My husband looked 10 years older. Our daughter had red eyes from crying. I stepped out from behind the tree. "Mama!" my daughter whispered first. Her voice cracked like thin ice. My husband turned slowly. His face went white as fresh snow. "Sarah," he said, voice breaking. He stood up so fast the suitcase fell over. "You're alive." I ran to them. I dropped to my knees and pulled them both close. The smell of his old jacket brought back every memory. Our daughter buried her face in my neck and sobbed. "I knew you would come back," she kept saying. "I knew it, Mama." We sat there on the wet curb for a long time. Cars passed slowly, people staring. I finally asked the question burning inside me. "Why are you out here with bags?" My husband looked down at the cracked sidewalk. His hands trembled as he held mine. "Your family came the day after the accident report. They said the police confirmed you didn't survive. They had papers." I felt cold all over. "What papers?" He swallowed hard. "Your parents and brother showed up with a lawyer. They said you had a will leaving everything to them if anything happened. I never knew about any will." "Neither did I," he said quietly. "They changed the locks the same afternoon. They packed our things while I was still at the police station crying. Anger rose in my throat like bile. My own parents. My brother who I helped through college. They didn't even wait for a body." My husband continued, voice low. "They told me if I fought it, they would say I caused the crash, that we had money problems, that I stood to gain from insurance. They threatened to take our daughter away." I held her tighter. She felt so small, so fragile. "How could they do this?" I whispered. My husband shook his head. "Greed changes people fast." I didn't know what else to do. I was scared for her. I thought if I left quietly, maybe I could fight later. We sat in silence as rain fell harder. I looked at our little yellow house with the crooked porch swing. Lights were on inside. Shadows moved behind the curtains. My family was in there, living in my home, wearing my life like a stolen coat. Something inside me shifted from pain to steel. "I need to see them," I said. My husband touched my arm. "Sarah, wait." But I was already standing. I took our daughter's hand. The 3 of us walked up the familiar path. Each step hurt more than the bruises on my body. I knocked on my own door. My mother opened it. Her coffee cup dropped and shattered on the floor. "Sarah?" she gasped. My father appeared behind her. My brother stepped out from the kitchen, eyes wide. For a moment, nobody moved. It felt like a horror movie frozen on one frame. "You're supposed to be," my brother started. "Dead." I finished for him. My voice sounded strange even to me. Calm. Too calm. My mother tried to hug me. I stepped back. "Don't." My husband stayed behind me. Protective. Our daughter hid behind my legs. I looked around the living room. My favorite blanket folded on the couch. Our family photos still on the wall, but some frames turned face down. "How long did it take you to move in?" I asked. 2 days, my father admitted. His voice was hoarse. "We thought we were doing the right thing," my mother said quickly. "Protecting the house." "From what?" I demanded. "From him," my brother said, nodding at my husband. "He was the last one who saw you. We had to think about the insurance money, about your daughter's future." The betrayal cut deeper than any river water. I laughed, but there was no joy in it. "You kicked my family out before my car even stopped sinking." My husband spoke up then, his voice steady but full of years of held-back pain. "You never liked me. You always thought Sarah married down. This was your chance to fix that, right?" My mother started crying. Real tears or fake, I couldn't tell anymore. "We were scared," she said. "Scared of losing everything." I felt my own tears coming. Not sad ones, angry ones, the kind that burn. Then came the new twist I never saw coming. My daughter tugged my hand. "Mama, Grandpa said you left us on purpose." My blood turned to ice. "What?" She looked up with innocent eyes. "He said you were tired of being poor. He said that's why you drove away." The room exploded with denials. But my daughter's words rang true. She had no reason to lie. I turned to my father slowly. "You told my 5-year-old I abandoned her?" He couldn't meet my eyes. My brother tried to speak. I raised my hand. "Enough." In that moment, everything became crystal clear. The money troubles, the constant criticism, the way they always made me feel like I owed them. This wasn't sudden. This was years in the making. They had been waiting for me to fail. "I want you out," I said quietly. "Tonight." My mother reached for me again. "Sarah, please. We're family." "Family doesn't do this," I answered. "Family doesn't steal a child's home while she's mourning her mother." My husband stepped forward. He looked taller somehow, stronger. "This house is in Sarah's name," he said. "We have the deed. I already called the police on my way here. They'll be here soon to sort this." My family looked at each other. Panic in their eyes. For the first time, they seemed small. My brother grabbed a suitcase. My father followed. My mother stood there crying. "I regret this," she whispered. "I know you do," I said. "But regret doesn't fix what you broke." They left one by one into the rainy night. No dramatic fight, just quiet footsteps and shame. When the door closed, the house felt empty and full at the same time. I sank onto the couch. My husband sat beside me. Our daughter crawled into my lap. We cried together for a long time, not just about the house, about lost trust, about the years we almost let money destroy us, about the love that somehow survived anyway. Later that night, after our daughter fell asleep, my husband and I talked, really talked. He told me about the nights he lay awake wondering how to provide. I told him about feeling like I was carrying everything alone. We held hands like we did when we were young and broke and hopeful. "We almost lost each other," he said. "But we didn't," I answered. The next weeks were hard. We had to fight legally to get the house back fully. My family tried to apologize with flowers and messages. I didn't answer. Some bridges burn for a reason, but I kept the good memories of my childhood. I just closed the door on the toxic parts. Our daughter started smiling again. She drew pictures of our family whole and happy. My husband found a new job on a smaller crew. Pay was less, but the hours let him be home more. I cut back at the diner and started baking cakes for extra money. We were still struggling, but we were struggling together. One evening, months later, we sat on the porch swing. Fireflies danced in the yard. Our daughter chased them with a jar. My husband put his arm around me. "I thought I lost you in that river," he said softly. "I thought I lost everything on that curb," I replied. We kissed like it was the first time. Slow, grateful, full of second chances. The pain was still there. The betrayal left scars. But hope grew stronger in the broken places. I learned that sometimes you have to lose everything to find what really matters. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the two people who choose to stay when the world walks out. Our little house wasn't perfect, but it was ours again, and so was our love. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more emotional stories.